Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and CNN has a complete and total meltdown on the attempt to pass the torch from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris. This is not going to end well for them. And before we get into the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to our amazing sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They are literally the cure to Bidenflation, but more on that later. Now, let's go.
The president didn't resign tonight, but he gave up his chance to be reelected. That is extraordinary. Let's just keep in mind, we are talking about someone giving away a position that is the most powerful in the world. When somebody says he had to, they don't understand the presidency. Mm-hmm. If he were investigated and he was about to be impeached and maybe removed,
that's so obviously false that
it's not so enough. Obviously false. I'm telling you, he did not have to
give it up.
He
has not given it up. He's still there for another 6 months when he's manifestly incapable.
Tell me how you know he's manifestly incapable.
I'm sorry to say that this is a sensitive matter where there are a lot of folks who have been talking about this for some time.
Oh, yes, I've heard them too. My doctor tells me he thinks he might have something, but he also says, but he's not my patient.
And look, the deeper problem, the deeper question is, who is actually in charge at any given time? This notion that he's only sharp for 6 hours of the day,
right.
This is an incredibly volatile moment, in part because of his failures.
Are we having everything you're saying, I'm sorry, is speculation. Let me tell you what is not speculation.
It's not speculation.
It is speculation because actually, unlike you, I've actually seen the guy at 9 o'clock at night. I have seen him after he has had 5 different events in 24 hours.
Might that cloud your judgment?
No, what?
Do you think that makes you more objective?
Well, the fact that I have actually seen him, whereas you're just reading gossip and speculation gossip.
We all saw the debate. We all saw the debate where Joe Biden was clearly incompetent, unable to address questions that he should have been able to address. We know that Robert Hur and Merrick Garland kept those audio tapes from the public.
And Democratic lawmakers
we all saw the debate, which is why
Kamala Harris, who is now going to be running for president, deceived the American people.
This is a story.
One at a time.
I appreciate
Ashley, go ahead.
that the enthusiasm that Kamala Harris has now sparked in the Democratic Party has made some people nervous. But the story that Joe Biden is lying to the public is not. When was the last time you were with Joe Biden? When was the last time you were with Joe Biden? So if you weren't...
There are a lot of Democrats in Congress who were with him in October 2021 who were frightened and afraid in October 2021 because he could not clearly communicate a case for passing major legislation, something that he specialized in during the Obama administration.
Donald Trump's chief of staff was afraid of Donald Trump.
He runs apparently in high circles, understanding how the Democrat apparatus works. All right, I've worked in 2 different legislatures in 3 different years. Now that was almost 10 years ago now, but I've learned a thing or two. I understand how certain systems sort of work here, and this guy clearly understands it. He knows what's going on because he's right. Democrats, for a long time, used to think that Joe Biden was this really sharp, hard-working individual. Something started changing in about early 2022, and he started noticing that Biden was in decline. And quite literally, you can pinpoint the moment. It's when he fell off his bike in New Jersey. That's when everyone sort of started to understand that this man was showing signs that he needs to be put in a home, not in the White House. Y'all, times are rough. Record inflation is still not under control. We have a president who doesn't know what planet he's on, and the Federal Reserve continues to make dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. You can gamble on Wall Street all you want, but if you want to diversify and protect your wealth, you need to look into my friends over at Colonial Metals Group. These amazing experts understand how to keep your wealth safe and protected from the volatility of our current market. And there's even a great deal for first-time accounts. Free gold and silver-backed IRA accounts, insurance on whatever precious metals you happen to buy for 5 years, up to $7,500 worth of silver, and a nice safe for you to keep all this good stuff in. So go take a look at their website, link in the description below, or call the phone number below so you can talk personally to Paul Stone, CEO, and his amazing team of experts to protect your wealth today. That's when Jill Biden started taking over. And let's see, there are only a handful of first ladies who have truly run policy. And ironically, we've had like 3 in the past 100 years. And I think there's only been 4 or 5 all told. And what I mean by that is the first ladies are actually running things. This happened under FDR's administration during his final days when he was in, I believe, Warm Springs, Georgia. Which, by the way, the little White House down there, fantastic place to visit. Then there was Woodrow Wilson's wife. I can't remember her name. And then I think Dolly Madison ran point on a couple of occasions. But it was rare. It's rare in history for the, but it's not unheard of for the first lady to step up. So Jill Biden has been in charge for like the past 2 years. Democrats finally had to start coming to Joe Biden. Even Barack Obama had to have a special meeting where he told Jill, "You are not allowed in this meeting." That's how I know Jill Biden is running things right now. And finally, after getting a certain disease of unspecified origin from the Orient, Joe Biden realized it's time to go and pass the torch. And what we've seen in the past few days has been just a mind-blowing shift. I knew the media was in the tank for Democrats, but good grief, after living and breathing through these past 48 hours or so, not 48 hours, but it's been a couple of days now, just watching the media shift from "Go Joe, go" to "We love you, Kamala" has just been this mind-blowing experience. And ultimately, there's something you need to understand here. It's either 1, you don't know the truth, so you're trying to orient yourself, or 2, you know the truth and you're lying about it. That's what the excessive blinking means. So when you see that in interviews, particularly on the news, it means this person is trying to project something that she's not totally sure of. And ultimately, she's saying that she knows deep down that Joe Biden is not fit to be president and certainly not fit to run for another term. But she's trying to project something that simply isn't true. Granted, that's what CNN does. But even the host of the show had to bring her panelists to heel and just say, "Y'all, it's okay to admit that Joe Biden is not fit for office anymore." But the reason they're doing so is because they're running Kamala. They think this person's going to win. Kamala is going to crack at some point. But if Republicans aren't careful, they're going to hit all of the booby traps that are involved in the Kamala Harris gambit. There's a lot of them. For instance, calling her a DEI hire, that's not the smartest thing you can do, because it will trigger the very people that they're trying to bring back into the fold. Saying that she's just a terrible person, or saying that she's, in J.D. Vance's case, calling her out for being a mother with no biological children, that's translation for women, "We don't like you." That's not a good message to have. So CNN understands the assignment. It understands that they can go and turn their backs on Joe Biden while trying to say that, no, we're telling you the truth now, this is what is true, and they're trying to pitch you Kamala. So in the attempt to get her into power, there's also pitfalls that the Republicans are going to fall into, and they've already fell into a few of these traps. J.D. Vance has already done this. A couple of other notable people like Brian Kincaid said some dubious things out loud. Dubious isn't the right word, but you got to be careful when navigating these waters, because despite the fact that you might be saying something that's true, you might be saying something that's unpalatable. CNN is using their power and their leverage to shift the entire narrative to Kamala. That's their goal, that's their point. And they're doing it surprisingly well. It's got me a little bit worried, but ultimately I do know this. Kamala Harris is more unpopular than Joe Biden. So we're in for a wild ride, folks, but this segment on CNN does show that they still retain some integrity, but ultimately they're trying to cater to rich white liberals. That's what CNN is designed to do. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Political. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.